Hey guys, welcome back and welcome to another episode of this thing. Today we're going to Krakow, Poland. We're gonna look through my weekend basically. We started in Prague. I was waiting for Beata to leave her apartment because she was a tiny bit late. As I was waiting for her, a fairly young Slovak gypsy approached me. As he was telling me his life story, he mentioned losing his passport. I carefully moonwalked out of this situation. Soon after, Beata appeared and I told her exactly what I just told you. And she went, "Oh, passport." And then she ran back into her apartment, so I waited for a while. But the point of the story is, if I haven't met the homeless guy, Beata couldn't fly back to Prague and I wouldn't have to take a 7.5-hour train ride by myself. We had our breakfast on the train. I got a chicken McMuffin fresh. It was also the second time this day that I was sitting next to someone who just didn't smell very nice. Next, it was time to visit the Orient Express luxury restaurant brought to you by České dráhy. Our super flamboyant waiter recommended me to get svíčková. Considering someone made this on a train, I have to say this svíčková was absolutely delicious. The total came to about 7 euros. I mean, hey, that's pretty good. We must have spent 3 hours in the restaurant, because soon after we arrived in Krakow's most chaotic shopping center / train station and went shopping. I mean, Beata went shopping. I was just waiting for her on benches in front of the stores. The thing that strikes me every time I visit Poland is the amount of stuff in Polish stores. There's just so much more cooler capitalist stuff that you can get compared to Czechoslovakia. Like these 10 different types of Cheetos. But we didn't come here to eat Cheetos. We came here to drink blue isotonic drinks. There's just something cool about Krakow. There's a lot of green spaces, an array of restaurants and bars that put Bratislava, a city of similar size and shapes, to shame. He seems very safe and the general vibe is just super chill. The only problem is, it's in fucking Poland. By the way, this is what the Slovak army looks like. I honestly think Krakow is among the most underrated cities in Europe. I never hear people saying, "I'm going to Krakow next week." It's always fucking Paris. Admittedly, from my experience, most Polish people don't exactly love speaking English. They would much rather speak some variation of Slavic Esperanto. But most problems can be solved by confidently pointing at stuff. And I would love to say that Krakow is cheaper than other cities in Eastern Europe, but it seems like COVIDflation and warflation hit this city pretty hard. When I visited in September, everything seemed about 20% cheaper. Our first stop was the wonderful apartment that Beatita's friend very generously offered to us. Beata went to see her tenant and left me here, all by myself, with no internet connection, and a wide selection of Polish language books. Okay, I found one English book, but it was mostly pictures. If you're watching this, you're probably connected to the internet right now. But being here, in this TV-less, internet-less apartment, made me realize people must have been much more chill in the past. And they must have had a lot more free time on their hands too. It feels kinda weird to just exist in a place with no distractions. Next, we headed for a little walk by the river, but before that, we stopped in Shopka, Polish 7-Eleven. If you don't know what 7-Eleven is, it's something that Slovakia and Czech Republic just missed. And I don't know why it's so hard to make a likable one-stop shop in these countries, not in Poland. You can find these convenience stores all over Krakow, and they have everything you could ever ask, from pills to cosmetics, snacks, drinks, and other things. I got this vegetarian burger that they heated for me in a microwave. It wasn't the best thing I ever had, but it served its purpose. We will be coming back to Shopka when you least expect it. Krakow's Jewish quarter, Kazimir, is one of the top reasons why Krakow definitely deserves a visit. If there is a place I can recommend to you, it's a cool spot called Severia. Another place I would recommend to you is called Pianlia Vodki. I go there to get one of my favorite dishes, the Tatar steak. This plate will only run you 3 euro, but in September it would only cost you 2 euro. Damn you, COVIDflation! If you want to know more about the wedding video, watch the wedding video that I'll put somewhere around here. I woke up with incredible craving for pirog. Polish dumplings filled with meat, cheese, potato, mushroom, cabbage, nuts, fruit, basically anything to be honest. They're easy to make, tasty, available, and affordable. All the things I like. That's why I Googled search for typical Polish eatery. There is a huge shot market in Poland. I mean, market for shot. I mean, they drink a lot. Anyway, I finally found this mlečný bar place on the 2nd floor of this building, though it said Zapraszamy. So I tried to get in. Oh, okay, now I'm in. This is what it looks like inside. Look at the drink selection. You have a green drink and you have a red drink. This is what the menu looks like, about a billion items. Anyway, I asked for the dumplings and the lady said, "Would a pie. So I was like, okay Google, find me something else to eat. And the Google was like, beep boop boop, beep boop beep boop. Okay, go across this street and there should be a burger place. So I walked across the street and there was nothing but this empty shed that probably used to serve burgers in past. So then I was like, okay, let's go to Biedronka. They should definitely have some pierogi there. But it was also closed. But it's all good, because at least I got to see a pigeon and a dog chilling on a windowsill. So I went to Žabka and I got all this stuff for about 14 zloty or 3 euros. And let me tell you, all of this was freaking delicious. The sandwich was mostly okay, but this salatka z kurczakiem and makaronem was so freaking good. I have to say, public transport in Krakow is very good. It gets you everywhere quickly, safely, and prices are quite affordable. You can also take a taxi or take a ride on one of these Bolt scooters, which I think is very fun, but also not as safe. As for the old town, I bet there is a bunch of very important historical shit you need to know. But if you ask me, the best thing you can do is just stroll around the old town, look for a cool cafe or a place to eat, and just after a quick visit to Orient Express, by the way, is not even close to being as good as Žabka, we went off to check out some of the Krakow's finest. You probably wouldn't like to miss the Rynek Główny, Krakow's old town square, where I also saw this weird naked cat and took some 4-move influencer shots.
Refreshing.
Generally, main square vibe is pretty great. Lots of cute cafes, horses horsing around, live music action, and loads of tourists horsing around. And some locals, I suppose, enjoying a sunny Sunday. After checking out the Krakow subway, which reminds me of the one in Bratislava very much, we went in the direction of the Voivode Castle. Fun fact about Poland, they love the Polish Pope John Paul II. You can find his statues all over the place. Also, this statue is not him. A Chinese girl recently told me these cats don't mean to say hello, they're saying, give me your money. This castle has it all. Stairs, a statue of a guy on a horse, a statue of John Paul II, a picture of John Paul II, square, tourist, a very handsome guy with a very cool bag, and most importantly, views. A legend says Polish shoemaker tricked a dragon into eating an extra large popcorn, which made him so salty he died. Now, there is a statue of that dragon. Fuck the guy who solved the problem. And sometimes, that statue blows fire into the air. I only called like half a second of that, I'm sorry. Another legend says Polish kids love climbing rocks. Look at how many dandelions there are in Poland.
By the time you export it, it's already got this.
After you check out the castle, take a leisurely stroll to Forum. This place used to be a hotel. Now it has been turned into the pinnacle of Polish capitalism. It has these large spinning things. A huge poster advertising Netflix Stranger Things. Does anyone watch that? Bars, restaurants, cafes, and lots of people. Come here to take a break after a long day of not doing anything. After you get hungry, head to the food hall and wander at the hall full of food. They've got it all. Pierogi, polskie jedzenie, tapas, Vietnam with a W, Thai food, and burgeri. We went for pierogi because after all I went through this morning, I was still craving pierogi. They've got them all the colors and all the fillings. I went for ruskie, cheese and potato, and ones with mushroom and nuts in them. Our total was 50 zloty, or about 6 euros per person. I mean, okay, we would have paid a lot less in a real pierogi place, but the quality was really good and the portions were surprisingly filling. Let's see what our in-house taster thinks. Yeah, generally a fun place to visit, but it gets really busy. Now let's get the fuck out of here. Look, Polish street art. In Kazimir and Podgorze suburbs, this over 140-meter long John Paul II bridge spans the Wisła River, providing a safe and pleasant crossing to the pedestrians and cyclists since 2010. What I like the most about the bridge is the artwork and its overhanging leaf-shaped construction. Flying acrobatic sports, people tumbling in the air, exhaling a spirit of freedom. The other thing that I liked a lot was the proximity of a Georgian restaurant. The other thing I was indifferent about was this Czech place we were supposed to meet our Polish place in called Hospůdka u nás. Actually, it was pretty cool. The entire menu was in Czech, all the drinks were Czech, and they offered different Czech snacks like banan v čokoládě or fidorka, and most importantly, krteček. If you're into Czech stuff. And don't forget to visit the Okraglak Square, a place that offers delicious zapiekanki. Polish chlebíček with tons of toppings that will make you a very happy man or a woman. I wanted to get another Tatar steak, but they ran out, so we headed back home, and Beata cleaned the apartment while I kept on calling her cleaning lady. All the beautiful things in life must come to an end, and that's why we're heading back to Prague through the Dvorec Glovny. Did a full 180, crazy, but we're back in McDonald's. Beata attempts to get a cold brew. Then we say goodbye. We took a train to Krakow together, but Beata decided to fly back to Prague. She said it's because of work, but I think she just couldn't handle 7 more hours with me. So here I am, writing this script all by myself. I guess this video needs some kind of conclusion. I'm going to rate this whole experience. I'm giving this trip a solid 7 out of 10, which is a very good rating, but here's why I'm taking some points down. The Wi-Fi on the way back sucked, and I needed to work, so I spent a lot of time not working. Mlečný bar that I went to ran out of pierogi. And the third reason is Poland got more expensive, and I'm a cheap fuck. All in all, definitely visit Krakow. Enjoy its beautiful architecture, chill vibes, and stuff your faces with delicious Polish food. Meanwhile, I'll be editing the video from the wedding, and you hold tight. See you in the next one. If you sat through this whole thing, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Consider subscribing or liking the video, it helps the algorithm. And most importantly, have a wonderful weekend. Have a good time. I miss you.